Alright, guys,
Yeah,
welcome to another episode of our SeafoodKing podcast. So, the topic of discussion for today would be the OP-08 release, which will be very soon for us. Probably will be out by the time you all watch this video, but today I have with me my team of boys. So I have Alfred, Tianhui, as well as a special guest, SGRIs, also known as Benjamin, who is our Singapore Asia Finals representative at Worlds for the 2023 championship season. So say hi.
hello.
Yeah, then I'll ask my editor to put in his Twitter handle somewhere. So, yep. Alright, so we have a special guest joining us today. So today we'll be going through the OP-08 card list, going through like what are our thoughts on the upcoming One Piece set, as well as what are our thoughts on what what is the upcoming meta game gonna be like. So, alright, let's get things started. So, why don't we start with Alfred? So, what's your first opinions on OP-08 now that the full card list is out?
Two opinions. So, what do I think about OP-08 right now? Okay, my favorite. Okay, after looking at the leaders, my favorite of all of them is definitely King. Able to choose. I'm a black player lah, so I definitely prefer black things. So you can choose between a draw, or like a -2. So I definitely hype for that. Yeah, that's the main thing of OP-08. Then and Kai, that's for later. So yeah. So
How about you,
looking
Tianhui?
forward.
Okay, OP-08 seems like a fresh breath of life. I think multiple leaders are relevant, I would say. Pudding, one of them. Not a big fan of these two colors, but definitely a game changer with its ability to ram on attack, which getting you to 10 Dawn fairly quickly. King, definitely one of the game changers, I feel. Purple and black, these two colors in leader will be open to a lot of new deck building and a lot of new combos. And there'll be a lot of chemistry between reducing from black and ramping into big bodies in purple. Okay, last but not least, I think red for aggro, right? I think it has potential to come back into the meta, which I will elaborate in our discussion later. Yep.
Alright, what about you, Ben? What do you think about OP-08?
So as for the leaders in OP-08 so far, I hope that things will change as compared to what is currently in 07. So I mean, like what Alfred and Tianwei both mentioned. I mean, I think that the leaders in potential will probably be like Pudding and like King in specific wise, I guess. But we might be able to see the return of Red. I mean, it really depends in like the deck building and stuff, but let's just hope like the meta shifts and stuff. Yeah.
Alright, as for my opinions on OP-08, as a RP Law scum, I think OP-08 is just another stepping stone for RP Law players. I think RP Law will probably still be the best deck in the format, though I think there will be some new inclusions in the format like what we have all previously discussed, such as possibility of Raid actually coming back into the meta game with the new Drum Kingdom / Animal support, namely Chopper stuff, which I think gives like a pretty solid boost to the power level of like decks such as Red Zoro. I think Red Zoro might potentially be one of the contenders coming up just because of like the new animal stuff. Even Chopper itself doesn't seem too bad with the ability to allocate dawns like across the board, as well as having the ability to swarm the board. Though I think Red Zoro probably does it better. So we'll see. I honestly wanted like my White Bear Pirates to be good, just because I was like a White Bear 1 trick in the past. I wanted to play my old man again, but after like this whole like set release, cut list, everything that came out, read the cards, honestly not too excited. I think, personal opinion, I think OP-08 will just be like sort of like another OP-07 format where the format is going to be pretty wide open, where like a lot of decks are viable, and it'll just be up to you to decide like what deck you want to be comfortable on. Yeah. What do you all think about that?
To me, OP-08 gonna be the start gonna be the same. Gonna be like people gonna use like OP-7 cards to be comfortable with. Because OP-08 is some skill is pretty new to us. Like I think a chopper deck flooding a board really fast. that deck don't really see, in theory wise, that deck don't really see any like very good stuff. Like can't really only rush aggro kind of deck. But other than that, it's just no hands on yet, so don't know about that. That's for theory. And because most of the leaders is 4 life leader. And okay, in 07, most of the leaders that we're using, or like even leader that's winning, is 5 life leader. So that's gonna put us into like thinking that, is it 4 life leader is coming back to the game or not? Yeah. So yeah, quite tough to see right now. But let's see how can we crack after this 1 week before the Grand Asia Open for Singapore then. Yeah.
Yeah, and if I were to add on, if you all didn't know, before this podcast, our next big event is gonna be Grand Asia Open for Singapore, and that's gonna be like the first event in the world that's in the OP-08 format. So it'll be a very fresh format, just 1 week into OP-08. So pretty excited for that. So we're gonna have to do a lot of theory crafting as to like what's good coming up OP-08, considering that we only have 1 week to work with. So
Let's all guess. I mean, majority will still be RP Law. So
I mean, I'm not gonna waste any time, and I'm probably just gonna improve my RP Law deck and run it for the event. But
You're just adding 2 cards in your deck, Fabian.
maybe I'll add 3.
Okay, go ahead.
Maybe.
For me, definitely not excited about RP Law support, not gonna lie. Just hope there'll be more viable support for new leaders, or even old leaders that weren't relevant because of OP7. And I'm excited for the death of BY Luffy. I think the deck
Yeah.
carrying weak players that, yeah, just
I think we're
carrying.
all glad.
The deck is just I hate it. I hate BY Luffy. Yeah.
BRI Luffy, in my opinion, is like the new Katakuri, you know, where like the deck has a very low entry point where the deck isn't that expensive. All you need to do is grab like 2 starter decks, and then you get like some copies of Moria SR, and boom, there you go, there you have it. And then, but I do agree that BY Luffy is one of the harder decks to pilot. Though like, if your opponent plays into your strategy because they don't know what you're doing and they just play into you, then you're gonna smash them. So I think that's one of the main reasons why I think a lot of people that were on BY Luffy previously shown pretty like get carried by the deck, you know?
It's easy to pilot, not easy to play well.
Yeah,
yes.
something like that. Like the deck, I think a lot of us have the agreement that the deck, right, once you get to your ceiling, it's very easy to play from that point on. But like the hard part is obviously navigating to that ceiling, which is how do you get to that 0 life when your opponent is like starving you, or like which turns are you okay to actually just base up with your babies instead of just tunneling into going to 0 and getting to your Moria turn. Yeah, a lot of like micromanagement in between, like, cause sometimes you have to actually consider like, if I go down to 2 life this turn, will I get bursted down by my opponent next turn? Because I think for BY Luffy, the moment that you fight, you open yourself to like, if you give your opponent an opening for them to like sort of like jam you, and they get a lot of cards out of your hand, then usually just GG's from there on. Because once the BY Luffy, every card for the BY Luffy is really important. And I think what I was talking with Alfred the other day was that every card, like even a 1k counter for BY Luffy, right, can actually be equivalent to like a 5k counter for other decks, because they get to play with like a 9k base leader. While other decks, right, if you compare it to a 5k leader, yeah, I'm only stuck on a 5k leader, which means that if my opponent goes 5k to my 5k, I counter 1k. But my opponent, in order for them to go like 5k to my like BY Luffy 9k leader, he has to attach like 4 Dawn. And that asked me for how much? Only 1k. So how much is that 1k worth? Yeah? Yeah, it's like every card for the BY Luffy is so much more important compared to other decks. So
I mean, I'm just glad it's dead. The deck needs to go.
We don't know that for sure. I personally feel the deck will probably still be playable. I mean, the deck didn't get any like, it didn't really get shafted in this set, you know. It's just like, I think the inclusion of like this new one card that might shift the dynamic a little bit. We're not too
every
sure.
black card is just gonna play that card because it's the one counter for black against BY. I mean,
we can go into detail about that later on, but
I mean, you guys take a look at the card effect and tell me if I'm wrong. The card is too good against BY Luffy.
yeah, on paper, right?
I mean, you just have to be a normal black player to know how good that card is against PY. But we'll talk about it in a bit.
But then again, it might not stop like people from playing the deck anyways. People
It's
still
okay.
like. No.
I will play the counter to BY Luffy.
That's the first day of it. Like I'll make them change their decks lah.
Oh, Alfred with the big words there.
Alright, so why don't we just hop on to our first topic? Why don't we just start with talking about OP-08 leaders while we're at it? So
Leaders. So we have. Let me do a filter right here. Oh no, this jet.
Oh my god.
Okay,
Oh,
let's go. Okay, we have 6 new leaders. Personally, my favorite is this Tony Chopper guy. I think we need aggro, like actual aggro. RP Law is not aggro to me, man. We need actual aggro back in the meta, and I think Tony Chopper has the potential to be the first aggro deck in 3-4 sets. Yeah, we have been missing aggro decks for a while. Okay, so Tony
RP Law.
Chopper definitely my favorite leader.
RP Law's
for the set.
aggro.
No, RP Law is not aggro, it's fake aggro. Okay, what about you, Alfred? What's your favorite leader here? Just now you mentioned King.
To be honest, I like Mako more, but
Marco.
I'm a black player, but so I like King more.
How about you, Ben?
I think as for me, I wanted to mention that I think similarly to the rest of them, I think it's Marco because I really want to see like Red come back into the meta. I mean, let's not talk about like RP Law. RP Law is not really a Red deck, to be honest. So I would want to see the return of like Red, like in comparison to like 04. So let's hope to see it work out.
My personal favorite leader this set is Marco. But the reason for this is because I really like my Whitebeard Pirates. So I really hope that this Marco leader will actually, and whatever that's printed in OP-08 will revive the archetype. I'm still hoping though, just because we do still have another ST coming up with that is featuring Edward Newgate as the leader. OP-02 Edward Newgate as the leader. So hoping that will bring me my Whitebeard Pirates back into the meta game. Unlike this Marco and blue Whitebeard trash in this set. But personally, just based on like leader alone, like ability and everything else aside, I really like Marco just because similar to like Sakazuki, it's like innate cycling in a leader. And just for one Dawn, you get to cycle a card, and also you get to apply minus 2k to like any card on your opponent's board. Which for like a cost, like if you compare it to like a card like Otama, right, it kind of does the same thing. Just that it's like on a every turn to turn basis. So on demand, I have a cycle and minus 2k, which I think is very good utility for a leader. It's not like a very game breaking or like very overpowered ability in my opinion, but it's just like a good. I think leaders with like good utility has always shown itself to be very good in the One Piece card game. I mean, look at Sakazuki, right? Sakazuki, when you read the card, I don't think you will ever think that this card is the first band leader. Okay, not the first, second band leader in the game. First band leader in the Japanese card game. Yeah, but second in the English card game.
Interesting. Any love for the Minx? I think Carrot is a pretty interesting leader actually.
I think like,
Yeah.
I mean, if you
I think-
compare it to the likes of like another green leader printed the previous set, kind of looks like a joke, no?
I mean, this instant rest lah, I guess.
I mean, look at Bonnie.
I think the Ming support is pretty decent, but I think Bonnie is the superior leader.
Yeah.
So maybe you get some Bonnie plus Ming's
Maybe.
Yeah.
decks in the future. I don't know.
Some Twitter people are cooking it, so maybe but people are trying all kinds of things.
I see.
Since,
Definitely, we'll try out the green package though. I think green has potential this set. Okay. Pudding. I hate this leader, man. He's,
Pudding has
definitely
been like,
one of the and definitely first feel that we see like huge potential on it because you can ramp to the huge stuff, but from what we see, like the aggro decks kind of like somehow win these huge decks.
walk in the park, I guess.
Yeah, but let's see what she can do. But I hope she's like not bad into the meta. If not,
Why?
it's pretty much very big. Yeah.
I mean, then again, these kind of decks are more of like late game decks, right? So like, I mean, if we compare about what we have in the meta right now, it's like not feasible against RP law, right? If it takes too long to set up.
Yeah, I think one of the
Yeah.
issues Pudding struggles with is going into like a fast meta game, which I honestly think OP-08 might be that meta. OP-08 might be a faster paced meta game in my opinion, just based on how the cards are looking like and like what I think my opinion are gonna be like the decks that sort of shape up the meta game. But I think Pudding it's a very like it's the premier ramp leader. Like if you're looking for like a slow gameplay or like if the meta game ever reverts, right, to a state where like aggro is like dead, I think Pudding will probably have a chance to shine just because she can comfortably scale into the late game, and yellow and purple cards, late game scaling is pretty insane. Like if you compare, like I mean, example would be like 10 cost Big Mom, right? You can actually play her in Pudding, and like you can sort of like use the ramp from purple and then the good boss monsters from yellow and put them together. Yeah. So I think Pudding is like the best sort of like slow leader in that sense.
Yeah, but for life, weak to aggro. I mean, there's no perfect leader, so I guess
Sure.
it depends on the meta ultimately. Last but not least, guys, this Shandorian warrior guy.
It's just
I don't play yellow cards, so I know nothing much about this
to
leader.
me, it's just a common and rare deck for now because it's just a mix of common and rares like together. Then you just put good yellow cards in, and that's about it. You're just putting out good bodies, but after all, it's just a Uta deck. Like,
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
no. I mean, to me, this is definitely a $10 AA leader. If you ask me,
Then
I don't want to open it for my case. So, yeah, that sums up
will
the
probably be the worst out of everything. I think.
yeah $10 leader. Then I guess the most expensive
but
leader
let's
would
see
be
in the
Pudding.
future, yeah, near future.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay lah, but not gonna lie, I think Kalgra as a leader is not too bad.
Okay, you can play it, Fabian.
It's
No
just
problem.
it's just that
Compared to RP, like I mean,
the deck you can only cheat stuff out. That's all the deck has going for it. Nothing else. No interaction with the board. Actually, it's very hard.
Okay.
It's very hard for me to argue that it's good. lah.
It's absolute shite. Okay, let's move on, guys. We don't talk about shit leaders.
Right. So why don't we just hop on to? Why don't everyone tell me like what are your top 3 cards coming from the set? So we can start with Tianhui.
Okay, for me, first and foremost, my first card is this card. Tony Chopper SR. This card is amazing, man. So basically its effect is during your turn, once per turn, if I'm not wrong, when it enters the field or when it attacks, right? You can check the top 5 cards of your deck, call a 4 cost and below animal type character, and call it rested if I'm not wrong. Then shuffle your deck. Then send the remaining cards to the bottom of your deck. I mean, this card has so much potential for raid and aggro decks because it gives you the potential to flood your board excessively fast. Because this normally this kind of cards is on call, then you can call another unit. But in this case, right, you can actually call another unit on call plus when you're attacking. So this gives you crazy potential to fill up your board, and it's so good against like remover centric decks like Lucci or basically every other black decks. And I think this card has a potential to improve the animal engine, and you can I will foresee it being added into like other aggro decks, not just Tony Chopper leader, but maybe Red Zoro. We may see a Red Zoro with animal engine kind of build in the future in OP-08. So this card is literally the reason why aggro is able to I would say I foresee myself seeing aggro as one of the top few decks in OP-08. So yeah, Tony Chopper, one of my favorite cards. Okay, next. Aha, it's a common. We won't give our friends up to our enemies. This is what it's called. Very cool effect. So it's an event. So it's a main. It can be activated in the main phase. By resting 2 cards, your entire board cannot. For the rest of your turn, your characters cannot be KO'd. So super strong, I would say, for green decks, because green decks are normally weak against like black removal decks. So this has the potential to protect your board from KO abilities, which is so strong for 1 mana. For 1 cost event. So there are like a few scenarios I can foresee in my head right now, like call Zoro and use this card skill to rest Zoro and another unit and another character on board at 10 dawn. Then you protect your Zoro and use your Zoro to whack 3 times next turn. Super amazing card, in my opinion. I mean, in theory, it sounds amazing, but in practice, could be another situation. So we definitely need to test this card out. But for now, one of my favorite cards for sure. And the name's cool too, man. Okay, last but not least, have to go for an SR here. Kaido, man. This card is so good. And one of the reasons why this is my favorite card for this set is because it kills BY Luffy.
BY Luffy's on the floor!
Yes! Kill BY Luffy! We hate BY Luffy. Okay, so ability, main phase, once per turn. If I'm not wrong, we discard a card, right? To send one of a 7 cost character to the trash. Not KO, but we send it to the trash directly. So anti-BY Luffy card. I mean, if you give me this, okay, this is just the first part of the effect. If you just give me the first part of the effect for this card, I'll be so happy already. But we have a second part of the effect. Your opponent gets to discard 1 card from his hand. So good. It's literally a card that is countering BY Luffy. Because just now as Fabian said, 1 card for BY Luffy could be 5k counter for another deck in that case, because BY Luffy often goes to like 9k base and sits back on counters in their hand. So by removing a unkillable unit on their board and discarding 1 card from their hand, Kaido literally is a card that kills BY Luffy. I love this card so much. And the A is super cool. We don't have it on the One Piece card game website yet, but definitely 10 times better looking than this weird looking SR. Yeah. So yeah, 3 of my favorite cards. Kaido, I forgot what's this card's name. We won't give our friends up to our enemies.
Just
And
Kaido.
Tony Chopper. 3 of my favorite cards.
Alright. How about you, Alfred? What are your top 3 cards this set?
Since it cover with the Kaido, I'll go with the Kaido again. Yeah.
Okay.
So, okay, Kaido, yeah, I hate BY, so even though I played before, but just once, but I think just Sabo, but so now we need a card to punish the Sabos, basically. Like once they Sabo, we don't lock there for like black to black mirror game basically. So Sabo is the one that answering. Sabo. Kaido is the one that answering after that. Yeah. So definitely quite game breaking if I say so. But looking forward, meta may not be as it is like right now on 07, can be aggro-y, so this card may be even trash in even 08 at the start, or till behind later in the 08, then maybe got used somehow. People crack the meta or something. Yeah. But for now, yeah, definitely there is a more power. It's like a powerful, stronger issue if you say so. Yeah, because you can indirectly removing 2 cards, but it's 9 cost. Yeah, so definitely it is one of the powerful cards in this set for me. Yeah, and the next card will be Jozu, the 6 called Jozu. Yeah.
Where is it? This guy? I don't even know what it does.
Oh, he's not very strong.
Okay,
huh?
the skill is You may return one of your characters other than this card to your hands. Return up to 1 or 6 or lower on your opponent board to the owner hand.
Ooh,
So-
interesting.
I like cards that reuse cards. So, looping is definitely one of my thing. So, yeah, definitely this or one of the best. 6 mana for 7k attack, like power, and 1k shield. Wow, you can't ask for much. Even it's just rare. So it can be even SR if you say so. Yeah.
This one can
Then-
bounce back Izo.
Oi, Otama
Or return a-
reduce bounce back. Interesting.
Or return a Gaia, or return. Wow, that's like a lot of to even return, right? So definitely one of my favorite there for being just a rare.
A bit birds.
Then the next one, the last one will be my favorite of the set.
I know what you're
Black
talking
Maria.
about. Yeah. This guy's bastard, man.
Alright, I
Dude.
can't. Oh, okay, this is just everything. So you can even play a deck that just ram down and just then ram back up. Like paying 3 costs and ram back up. I'm back there. Okay, I'm same as you. Then I can, then you can just loop everything. It's like
I mean, less
so much.
punish for people that they
Oh.
just anyhow minus their dawn, right? Minus.
Yeah.
Then suddenly
Three
ramp
mana-
back up. Okay, I'm back.
yeah, okay, then gonna get abused a lot for real. So I want to buy for Maria 8.
Okay, while we're on this topic, I kind of agree with Tinhui. I think this card, right? I'm not really a fan of it, just because I think it gives like those bad RP Law players like a emergency button. Because like a lot of like a way of how you identify like a good or bad RP Law player is like how they use their leader ability. But this Black Maria card, it kind of like
Fixes the problem.
yeah, like it doesn't allow them. It doesn't the punish isn't as hard anymore, just because now even if they don't like manage their dawn properly, right, they can just go Black Maria, get back all their dawn. Yeah. But this card's honestly really strong, not just for like RP Law, even in like just purple decks. Just as long as dawn manipulation still remains a like gimmick for purple decks, right? I think this card will always be pretty relevant. Just because it suddenly just gives you like a burst of dawn that you can fully utilize. Like imagine you're playing like, let's say, even ST Kaido, yeah? You can just use the leader ability for sort of free if you have Maria on the board. And couple that with the fact that she's a 2k counter, so never really a dead card. One of like the best cards coming from the set. So
All in one. 2k, cheap cost.
Looks absolutely broken to me. I mean, this card when it comes down, it definitely needs to be removed. Like
yeah, and
next
that's another
turn. If
thing,
you don't,
right?
you're
Yeah.
gonna die, man.
yeah, you have to remove this, and what this thing is like a 2k body.
I mean, everyone's gonna call this and puck it for the entire game if you don't remove it. I mean, unless you're playing like super aggro or something fast, so that you can just ignore this and go face. I mean, other than that, this card needs to be answered immediately. I personally feel, yeah.
For King it's just very, very strong. -2, +5, -2, +5, -2. Yeah, free draw every single turn.
How about you, Ben? What are your top 3 cards?
Okay. I think to begin with, first of all, straightforward, it has got to be Whitebeard. Straight up.
Dude, this card's useless, man. I think it's useless, man.
Hey.
Why do you like it?
I mean, okay, no, the main reason I mean is because it's Whitebeard. But the fact that
Ooh.
I mean, it's like in a sense, the effect I wouldn't say it's really that good. I would say that it's in a sense that you basically need a Whitebeard pirate leader, right? So in a sense, this card is only playable in Mako. But then again, I would want to see the leader be
EY
played.
is
DY Ace?
Ace. Can play an
Oh,
Ace.
like as in, Ace as well. Sorry, but yeah, I mean mainly we want to focus on like Marco in a sense. Like I mean, then again, because in VY Ace, technically we want to like see low cost stuff and like not really like on the upper edge of the deck. So I mean, in terms of this, I would just want to see like Marco get played. So that's why I chose this card. As for the second card, I think it would be Charlotte Linen, I think. The Nikon Charlene.
This card's busted.
Yeah.
Super busted.
So basically, if you guys don't know what this card does, it's basically for 1 Dawn, you basically can trash 1 card from your hand, and then you add up to 1 life from the basically you gain 1 life, and then you get to put a 6 cost or less to the top or bottom. I mean one of your opponent's characters to the top or bottom of their life. So basically the inbuilt like Hatakuri and like you get to heal as well. So I think the card is pretty broken. Pretty good.
Have to agree with that. This card is super broken.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
think-
on paper, it's super broken.
Yeah.
This is one of the other faces of the set, if I must say so. Like, I think it gives like purple decks like another ceiling. Like, cause life gain was always originally like sort of yellow's niche, right? Yeah, but now purple can have life gain as well. So, and also this is like removal attached to it as well. I think when I first saw this card, right, the first thing that came to my mind was, can I just replace 9 cost Kaido in purple Luffy with this? Yeah,
I
It's
mean,
really stronger, right?
possible,
So-
possible.
this doesn't.
And not really because you're giving a life, so
Mm.
not sure about that. But you are like putting the game further. I'm not sure.
In
Why
a way,
not?
you're like making your game plan, like, I mean, in a sense, you're prolonging your game
Yeah, that's a
plan, I
good
guess.
point. Yeah, because purple Luffy usually is a deck that wants to play like a faster game, so giving your opponent that life might delay it. But just off the top of my head, when I first saw this card, I was like, isn't this just a direct upgrade to 9 cost Kaido? But yeah, just in general, I think this is a really good 9 cost boss monster for any purple deck. Yeah,
Yeah, this card's not leader lock, so
yeah,
Yeah.
very it's generic.
down the road it may be one of those like four, like a Moria, for
This is
purple.
the Yamato for purple.
Yeah,
Basically.
Yamato for purple, yes.
Purple.
Being able to remove, able to gain life, I mean, I think, and the body is strong as well. So then again, that's why I think we will definitely see play with this card. So then again, the Dawn, you don't get to like, as in when this comes down, you don't also minus a lot of Dawn, like similar. It's not similar to Kaido where when it comes down and you use the effect, like you have to minus like 5 Dawn. So I think it's pretty good, and in comparison to like Kaido, definitely.
You can actually chain this card because it's
Yeah.
just -1.
It's just -1. So like if you're playing this on curve on 9, next time you go back up to 10 anyway. So like there's no real minus in that sense.
Yeah, saw a video of them chaining this. You can't die, man. Okay.
Yeah. What's your last card, Ben?
As for my last card, I would say that it's mainly because the card looks super cool, but it's a combination of basically both the Kaido and the Lilian of this set. So it's
I
basically,
know.
yeah, the 10 cost.
Oh,
Okay, so for this card, basically it has to stick because basically the attack is on attack effect. So basically it's an inbuilt 10 cost Kaido, and at the same time it's also a 10 cost Big Mom. But the downside is it has to attack. So I mean that's the majority of it, right? Why it actually sucks. But I mean if it actually sticks and then you get to have like the 3 cost that what was the name of the 3 cost early on? The
Black Maria.
Yeah, Black Maria. Then I mean that would be actually insane, right?
Yeah.
So
Does this card burn life? Does this card burn
Yeah,
life?
it does. It's 10 Mom
Oh.
plus 10 Kaido together.
Oh,
Wipe the
interesting.
whole
Yeah.
board and then you shoot 1 life and gain 1 life. Yeah, it's actually pretty insane. If it sticks. If you can get it
If
off,
it sticks.
if you can get it off, it's actually pretty insane. I think one of the main things is that yes, you have to -10. So, but it's a good thing because it's like on attack effect, right? It means that before you go swing with it, you can actually play cards. So like that's another thing that people have been sort of working with as well, like experimenting with. I think when people first saw this card, they were like wondering, can I just mix in like 5 cost Sabo and like protect my whole board while I'm wiping my opponent's board, and then I have like Black Maria on the board to like help me get back my Dawn. Yeah, so like that's one of the concepts that people were working with when they were looking at this card. It's not too bad. I mean, if you can get there, I think it's pretty solid of an idea. I think one of the main like things about this card is that if it sticks, right, your opponent's in for a riot.
Okay, let's talk about. I think, assuming it won't be a black oriented meta, right? Then this card would be good. but then then again we have to see, right?
Yeah, imagine.
I mean,
But,
I personally feel that you need to build your deck around this card.
Yeah, for sure.
It's something that you have to like build
Yeah.
your entire deck. So I guess like early RAM cards
Yeah,
into this,
Ram and Slam.
into Black Maria Sabo. I think there's no way you can build this deck
Yeah.
differently. So I think King is the only leader that can accommodate this character. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not good against aggro as well. So
Yeah, it's too slow. But like,
definitely.
yeah. Yeah, another thing is if you're playing against a black deck and they slam down Sabo, suddenly you look like a joke. So
That's why this card absolutely sucks against all black decks. I mean, we have to see whether it's that like a black oriented meta, right? If it is,
Yeah.
then this card is just trash. Like just
I mean,
plain down.
it's a cool gimmick. Might be good, might be good. It's a cool gimmick that people might build like purple and black deck, probably King. Yeah, then they just use this as his main gimmick. Ram to 10 and slam this down on turn 4. Yeah. Then maybe my opponent is like shaking in their pants because they don't want to drop anything because they are scared that they're gonna get blown out the next turn because I have this on the board. So maybe. Alright, then why not move on to my top 3.
Even?
So first, similar to Ben, it's Whitebeard. but
Wow.
I can explain. This card's honestly not that good, but I like it just because it introduces like a new gimmick into the One Piece card game, which is floodgates. So when this card is played, it grants the ability to the whole of your opponent's board where like if they want to attack with their characters, they need to discard 2 cards. So I like cards that kind of sort of like give opponents like you sort of force your opponents to act in a certain way. So I think an example of this would be if you play Yu-Gi-Oh! Would be like Skill Drain or like to a certain extent even Imperial Order. So I think this card is something similar where it's like you're denying your opponent of something. Yeah. So like in Whitebeard's case it will be when I play him, if my opponent wants to attack with their characters next turn, they have to discard 2 cards. So if you're playing against like a very like aggro deck for example, and they have like 5 cards on board, I slam this down and then their characters are sort of useless now because if they want to swing with the characters, right, now they have to discard 2 cards each time they want to swing. So I don't think it's really strong in my opinion, just because it doesn't apply to the whole board. I mean, their leader can still swing, but it just introduces a very like fresh concept into the One Piece card game, which is like sort of this floodgate kind of effect. Yeah, which is why I like this card. Though I don't think this card is good. Yeah, I was pretty hyped for it, but like once the effect actually came out, I was like disappointed beyond belief. Really wanted this to be good. But hey, at least his A look nice, right?
It looks cool for
Yeah,
sure.
it looks cool. Maybe I'll play him in BYAs. Though I think
Yeah.
in Marco probably not. Yeah. Then next card will be this purple pudding card, unfortunately. Yeah,
Goodness, card
as a RP law scum, this card's not fair. So her ability is she's sort of like a small 5-cost kid where like whenever a Dawn is returned to my deck, I can ram 1 Dawn rested back. So yeah, you can kind of imagine what I can do with this, right? Yeah, I can, if I'm going first as an RP law player, I can go turn 2, I play pudding, then I use my leader ability and cheat out like a Sachi Penguin, and then I gain back 3 Dawn. Yeah. So I cheat out a board of like a 3 cost and like a 4k and a 5k for virtually no cost. Yeah, it doesn't sound very fair. Then like subsequent turns, if it sticks on the board, my leader ability is sort of as like my leader ability is discounted. Yeah, so this is like in a very similar reign to like 5-cost kid. Same thing, but earlier. And it's like a good. And one of the things that RP Law kind of like I wanted for RP Law is having like better utility 3-cost characters. So like this obviously fills that role. So this is what it is. I think they probably didn't intend for this to be made for RP Law, but good luck, y'all. This probably
I personally think this card is super broken.
yeah.
But to me, RP not gonna win tournament, so it's okay to me.
That's what you think,
That's
Alfred.
what you think, Alfred.
It's just a lost box to Pokemon, right, Ben?
Probably Fabian needs to show Fabian needs to show.
Yeah, someone need to show, but I don't think so.
I mean, out of like, for 500 people tournament, and let's say 300 people are running RP laws, there will be 5 lucky fuckers that will.
Nah.
A few lucky fuckers that will.
Alfred said no. Alfred said nah.
You draw like 4 puddings, 1 Sachi penguin lah. That's all you have.
This guy will do it. RP
Yeah.
law, one trick.
Have fun, Fabian.
But really, really hard, yeah.
RP
I
law,
super hate RB Law as a deck.
bro, RP law gets more
People get
consistent.
paid.
Okay, one of the things about RP law is consistency. And I think with this set,
You just say consistency. This is the most inconsistent deck ever, man.
You say again? What the fuck did I just say?
You must be capping. You must be actually capping.
one of the issues that RP law faces is consistency. And I
Oh,
think with the release of OP-08, this deck gets more consistent. Because now
Yeah.
I have Black Maria, I have Pudding.
okay. Hope you don't draw your Rejuice then.
With my someone of my caliber, should be no issue lah.
Screw you, Fabian. Hope
Okay,
RB
then,
Law dies.
moving on to my last card. I think it'll come quite a surprise for all of you, but like it's a yellow card. Yeah,
Holy.
yeah, it's actually
For someone that hated yellow, back in
S-
04, 05.
S-Hawk.
S-Hawk is which one? The Mihawk?
Yeah, Mihawk.
Ah.
Yeah. So this card is
Oh my god, do it on this too.
yeah, with one Dawn, if I have less left than my opponent, he gets a 2k buff. Then he can't be KO'd by slash characters and leaders if I'm not wrong. Yeah, but yeah, it sounds pretty insane, no? If I'm playing like Vegapunk.
4 mana 8k.
Yeah.
Interesting actually.
I can cheat this out on turn 1, you know, if I'm playing like a Vegapunk leader. Cause I
What for mana 8K?
Because against 1 Dawn ma.
yeah, one Dawn
Ah.
3k. And the power is active on both turns.
How come this card cannot be KO by slash characters? Isn't this
Yeah.
not even a buggy or something, man?
a
It's just
Mi-
Mihawk.
It's a Mihawk what? Mihawk is the strongest swordsman. Of course he cannot die to slash characters lah.
That's damn lame. But okay.
But yeah, this card, if you're playing like, not advocating for anything, but I think this card is honestly like very good support for Vegapunk. Because you can cheat this out on turn 1 when you're playing like Vegapunk with like Vegapunk's leader ability. Yeah,
What's
and
the
then,
trigger ability though?
just jump or discard 1 jump.
Oh.
Might be
Wait, what are the
might have some potential in NL.
Oh,
what are the current slash
Too live.
relevant leaders?
RP law.
Below?
Yeah. No, I don't think
Nah.
there are any relevant slash leaders right now, but like it's just having the potential to be like a turn 1 8k beat stick. I think it's pretty strong in my opinion, and this is on defense as well. So like this is 8k during my opponent's turn as well. So there's no way they're contesting this. So like if I'm playing Vegapunk, I can cheat this out on turn 1. Next time I just attack with it, and I don't have to fear him like contesting it or anything because this thing is 8k. How are you gonna swing into this? Yeah.
Oh, it's there was 7k.
1 dot 8k ma. Yeah. Oh yeah, 7k on defense. But yeah,
7 base,
yeah
7 base.
7k on defense.
Yeah.
So like
7 is huge.
pretty strong,
Yeah.
no? If I'm playing Vegapunk, I cheat this out on turn 1, turn 2, then turn 3 I go bang bang bang. Yeah.
I think you should show us and
I
What's the trigger effect even? What?
jump
Two life or less, you discard 1 card and call this card, I think.
Oh, okay.
This is a
Wow.
Vegapunk card. So for the
Vegapunk.
Vegapunk fans out there, this is your biggest buff.
I mean, I'm not gonna touch this card at all for OB8. I'm pretty sure.
But yeah, that's all for my like sort of favorite cards for the set. Yeah. I think S-Hawk's not bad. Maybe Vegapunk has a chance in the meta game. Turn 1 8k, turn 2 8k, maybe, you know.
You show me,
Is that the
Fabian.
RP law?
I'm not gonna
Contest in RP law?
I'll leave it to someone else lah. Maybe your round 2 opponent Vegapunk, okay? Then you lose.
I always lose to Cuckoo decks.
Turn your round 2 opponent GAO. Vegapunk. Turn 2 you
I'll
see
be back.
two S Hawks on the board. I see who's S crack open
7.
We'll see about that, Fabian.
Yeah. Alright, so that's more or less our favorite cards for the set. So why don't we go on to our last topic for today, which is what are we expecting the metagame to develop? How do you think that the metagame will develop in OP-08? Okay.
Hopefully, aggro. Hopefully.
I touched my heart. Just RP law things. Standard stuff.
Yeah. Alright, why don't I make it simpler for you? Why don't you just tell me what do you all think will be the best decks in the format?
Me?
Yeah.
Personally, RP Law. I mean, hate to say it, but It's just more support for the best deck in the format. Sigh.
Anything else? Or any other decks that you think?
BY Luffy is probably gonna go down. I think I don't see it surviving with the introduction of this Kaido card. Yeah. It's too good. It's too good against it. 9k body to contest its base. Bomb and okay, trash right? Trash any potential unit. Even like if you use it like with Lucci for example, reduce one bomb Moria. Very strong. A protected Sabo Moria. And discard one card from your opponent's hand. I mean, what more can you ask for from a BY Luffy hater? Yeah.
What do you think, Alfred?
Into OP-08, right?
Yeah.
Has that you need to look at the meta first. If it's more aggro-y, then Marco may be good into the aggro meta. And if there's more control, then black decks, yeah. So for me, just maybe 2 decks or 3 kind of leaders. But pretty much you see what you expected to meet in the meta. But for sure, a lot of RP loss. But top card, I don't think so.
Just one. Top card, just one, right?
One top card, maybe top 8. You see one top 4, I don't know.
Champion also one.
Is it?
Champion.
No, that's the limit. Top 4 cut off.
Yeah,
Top 4, I cut you.
lost box. But yeah, that's what I'm looking at. But it's just what you expect yourself to meet. It's a guessing game. So
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah,
similar
I never-
to OP-07, right?
it's always no, it's gonna be similar because there's a lot of decks to play with. Like if you're looking at GAO right now, everyone start off fresh, right? Into new meta. Every deck can be seen. Like a lot of decks can be seen. Even Zoro can be seen with the new support for choppers and all that. Then yeah, a lot of decks can be seen in this current OP. So you can just label them as aggro, mid range, and control. Yeah, to make your life better because there's a lot of aggro decks and yeah. Apilor definitely more of the aggro deck and more fair advantage decks. Yeah, but they definitely need to draw the cards they did to even get the advantage. Yeah.
What do you think,
But
Ben?
yeah,
Yeah.
Hopefully, I mean, okay, definitely. First of all, Apilo is gonna stay. As for the rest of the decks that we are currently seeing in 07, we can't be sure, but I mean, I really hope that the leaders in 08 will actually shift the meta. I mean, Apilo is probably not gonna get shaken, but let's just hope to see things like maybe like Pudding or like King even. I mean, they sound good on paper as of now, so I'm hoping that it would shift the meta probably. Yeah, that's what I think. Yeah. And as for Fabian, what do you think?
My take is, I think similar take. I think Apilo probably still one of the better decks in the format. Just because it's the good deck from the previous set, going into the meta with new cards, so probably will still retain its spot as one of the better decks. The BR Luffy definitely gets shafted, I think, just because of the introduction of 9 cost Kaido. Like the black 9 cost Kaido. I think that's like a one card answer to the matchup for any black deck. And like previously, because the dynamic was that BR Luffy feasts on like black decks. Yeah, but now with the introduction of 9 cost Kaido, now black decks can eat BR Luffy. So I think because of that dynamic, probably I think BR Luffy gets shafted down a bit. I think the deck probably still playable, but we'll see how it goes. And for sure, I think this meta game, I think aggro gets reintroduced into the reintroduced. Definitely because of the animal package with the SR chopper and everything else. Yeah, I think honestly Red Zoro has a pretty good chance coming back. Maybe. I think Red Zoro has, just based on like the current cards and his ability to flood the board, while having like the leader ability to give a whole about 1k. So I think just because of how synergistic the whole animal package is with Zoro, and also because like choppers are straw hats as well. Yeah, so like because of that, I think probably Red Zoro might have a place in the meta game. Would it be like tier 1? Not too sure, but I think it probably have a place. Then I think Black Moria honestly also retains its spot as one of the better decks in the format, just because of its ability to sort of like be flexible. Like if you wanna like you can sort of like tag the deck to go second, go first, like into a faster meta game. Maybe you wanna play more Luccis, so that you can continuously blow up your opponent's board. While if you're going to a more grindy meta game, maybe you want to like sort of slow down the game with cards like Isho, Sakazuki, like the current BY Luffy meta game. So like, I think Moria probably still would be pretty good. Similar to Lucci as well, just because they got 9-cost Kaido. Black gets 9-cost Kaido in this set, as well as all the Black Animal Kingdom stuff, which might be viable. I mean, some people have been testing like Animal Kingdom Lucci, so that might be good. I think whatever's good in OP-07 probably still remains good in OP-08. Just that I'm hoping as well, like what Ben said, probably Pudding or King. I think these are like the two leaders that are good on paper that will have the highest chance of being represented in the meta game. But I'm pretty interested on Alfred's take though, because he did mention Marco into the OP-08 meta game, so why don't we elaborate on that?
What? Marco?
Yeah.
I. Marco for sure. Okay, Marco is bringing back minus power back into the current, like, it's a red deck, so minus power is definitely back to the game. So a lot of decks, if you can see, is quite scared of minusing power. So Ace 7k, we guys need to remember 7-cost Ace is definitely there. Whitebeard pirate deck, right? So definitely gonna abuse that, right? So you can see that if the game is more aggro-y, yeah, 7 Ace is definitely gonna stop that. Yeah. So into decks that don't really, into players that don't really know how to stand their units and not swing them, can play into Ace and they may lose just after that, right? That's a normal thing, like back in Whitebeard days, yeah. So definitely gonna see some Marco action or red minusing power action in the next OP-08, from what I see, because there's definitely something that what Bandai is doing is like Ace SP, right? Yeah, definitely see something that, yeah. So every time Bandai, if you see, right, every time that Bandai release a SP card, they will do something about the deck as well. Yeah, some small changes, but definitely there's some changes, yeah. So that's what I think, but I could be wrong. But yeah.
Alright. Well, actually, one
Yeah.
thing that we haven't discussed in this session was what are our thoughts on the other secret, Rayleigh? Why don't we talk about him and we can close the session? What do y'all think about Rayleigh?
Yeah.
Since he is the
Really
manga
is-
card of the set, so I think he deserves a spotlight.
To me, really, it's just a weaker Ace because you don't have rush. So Ace just losing the rush. Instead of rush, really can pop a body, a 3k body, and minus 2k. So he's missing a rush. So Ace is still a better Rayleigh in my case. But
I mean, that
it
is if
being
you are
8 cost, right?
yeah, that is if you are playing a
Yeah,
white beard
being
leader.
being 8 cost is quite costly. So a lot of decks can't really run him, and at that point, like into 8 Dawn, let's say you play into 8 Dawn, open just 7 Dawns. What can you pop at that point? A 5-cost body? I think that's about a 5-cost body, which is 6k most of the time. That's about it. Other than that, you still somehow needed a Dawn to your Marco to even pop a 7-cost body usually is 7k. Or the latest one, the 7-cost body would be 8k, which is a Jack. Yeah. So if you count Dawns to Dawns, it's not really so amazing.
Yeah.
Other than
So this ends up in being like sort of like a 9-cost play in your opinion.
Really means manga stocks are going down. This is a cheap manga for sure.
I
Probably
like
say.
Relay, so
I mean, what do you how do you guess like the price of this? What's the price of this gonna be like? Similarly
Based on
to
my
like
years of
King?
manga collection, this is definitely one of those cheap mangas. I mean, Sogeking tier, Sogeking tier.
to me, how I gauge a manga is how easy is it to get. But we saw some TikTok lives that get multiples of it, so maybe it's really gonna be cheap because of that.
Yes, it's got to be a Sogeking tier manga. I'm pretty sure.
200, 300 maybe.
Yep. So for those who ordered multiple cartons, die.
Oh,
Nice. I'll collect one.
I think
If I
OP-08.
get 40.
Yeah, I'll definitely get one for my manga collection. I mean, this is the only one I'm missing right now, actually, because I actually have everything. But I think OP-08 is in a sort of similar vein to like OP-03. Like the sets kind of feel the same in terms of value. Like you have manga King, then you have like not so good secrets. Well, I guess Katakuri is probably an exception, but like yeah. Then this set you have manga Rayleigh. I mean, it's a popular character, I guess. I mean, we have people who
Just
like
that
him.
the effect is a bit underwhelming.
I guess it's fine. I mean, okay, if you're looking at this from an RP law perspective, right, it's not too bad. Cause like, okay, you can make a deck centered around like Rayleigh if you are with a like going first concept. Yeah, you can go like 3 cards you play Pudding on Zoro, turn 3 you play Miss All Sunday, and then turn 4 you ram into this. Then you can blow up 2 cards on the board because Rayleigh can -1, blow up the other one with his own ability, then you can use your leader ability to board like the other one. Yeah, so there's some things you can do. I think this is pretty, like, in my head that sounds pretty good in the mirror. Just because those numbers, like the threshold that Rayleigh actually touches, right, helps you KO like two cards in the mirror most of the time. Yeah, but yeah, honestly I think it's pretty much, it seems a bit clunky because you have to like sort of build your deck around him. Similar to how you're doing it for Ace right now, if you are playing Ace in RP Law, you have to build a deck around the idea. Yeah. I mean, it's not too bad. It's like a solid red boss monster, I guess. I think it's like, it does what it does for its cost. That's what I think. For an 8 cost card.
I mean, definitely not one of those cards I'm looking forward to.
I mean, if you compare it to like Moria, yeah.
I mean, look at the SRs, man. Kaido and Lin Lin. They do so much
Yeah.
more.
Yeah, there are
As a
so
boss,
many
as a
other
boss monster.
so many other cards in the set that have more like secret-esque abilities, right? Yeah, and as Ben said, you compare this to Moria, like, yeah, I
It
mean,
looks like shit.
that's the thing. That's the thing about every other like. That's the thing about the game moving forward. You know, like every time they print a new 8 cost card, like you compare this to Moria.
You can't compare to anything Moria. Moria is
Too much.
Moria.
Too much value.
Okay, I think the reason why this card looks so weak is because it's red. Because we are looking forward to a very strong red, something that will change like how the meta game will go forward in terms of like red decks, right? But this is not it, personally. I mean, we need something stronger for sure.
Yeah, Noel was saying that this is gonna be on play, give your whole deck rush. Yeah. That's what red needs,
Yeah.
right? That's what red needs.
Then the cool thing about Rayleigh is the -3, right? It stays for until the
yeah. That's one of
the
its
next turn.
niches. Yeah.
So if you chain it, I guess it can be used as a stall card, I guess.
Yeah,
but
you can like
just
keep
not too good. Just not good enough, lah. Personally, in my book.
Yeah, you're sort of like doing what, like, I guess, Boa Hancock 6 cost Boa does, right?
Yup.
Not really the same
But-
thing.
I don't know that. So actually, really, it's not bad because of that.
Why?
I really don't know. I really don't know the minus.
It's
Oh
a
yeah,
good-
yeah. The minus, both the minus power sticks until end of opponent's turn.
It's
Yeah,
not good
so-
enough. I feel.
Let me correct again. Actually, it's not that bad.
Okay.
As a secret, I think as a secret, that's why it's not that bad. But being an 8 cost, okay, you can stop like aggro decks definitely. And because of the power minus still lasts till the next turn. Yeah, it's not bad against aggro.
I mean, by
Against,
the
like-
time you put this out against aggro decks, you're dying already, man.
Let's say if you are playing. No. It's a red deck. So red decks definitely can answer aggro
Okay.
better than a lot of decks. Yeah.
Maybe this is the answer to aggro, guys. If we go into an
Oh.
aggro meta.
Red definitely can answer more aggro than any other decks.
Okay. We shall see.
Yeah, we'll see. I think Rayleigh definitely just does what it does. Like, you're telling me that if you, at first glance and what it looks and feels like, yeah, it feels like an 8 cost red boss monster. Yeah, it looks and feels like that. This is like a textbook example, you know, of what a red boss monster kind of does. With the minus power mechanic gimmick. Yeah. I think it's not too bad. I wouldn't say it's a bad card, but it's not like good by any, like very good by any means. It's sort of like in the middle for me.
I mean, I guess we can all agree that, OP-08 definitely a lot of new cards and a lot of viable cards in my opinion. So excited to play OP-08.
Definitely. I mean, our next event is in OP-08. I mean, for Alfred and Tianhui and Ben, they'll be going to Taiwan after this podcast actually. So hoping all the best to them. Hopefully one of the SeafoodKing boys gets to take it down. If not, Ben, right? If not us, then Ben. So hope for the best. I'm wishing good luck to all of you. So yep, that's
Just-
all. That's all for.
Just excited to play 3v3, guys.
Yeah, I can't wait to play
Ooh.
3. Yeah, 3 is the most fun format. can't wait. Team.
Alfred, fun or not, Alfred?
No, I prefer one because you only yourself to blame. Yeah. You can't blame your teammates. You only
Who you gonna end up blaming?
No, you can blame
Me lah.
yourself.
Not me, don't blame me.
Blame yourself for coming.
Oh,
But yeah,
yeah, I forgot who you were teaming with.
but yeah, that's okay. Then yeah. Yeah, that's all I think.
Yeah, that's all
Right.
for today's podcast. So wishing them all the best for Taiwan GAO, right? Oh no, CS,
Oh, no, no.
CS. Yeah, so wishing Alfred and the boys all the best for GAO, Taiwan CS and 1-on-1 and 3-on-3. So that will be this weekend for them. Probably be over by the time you all watch this video, but yep, let's see how they do. I mean, y'all can check out their results, I hope, on Twitter once they post it up. So yep, that's all for this podcast. So going into OP-08, it's gonna be a fresh format for us. The first GAO in the world in Singapore is gonna be held 1 week from now. So it's gonna be a fresh format OP-08. So maybe we can look back at this podcast to see maybe what we are right on, what we are wrong on.
Yep,
Maybe.
let's go.
Yep.
No,
Some-
you want fun. I'll play something different maybe.
Yeah.
No, no.
I'm also running something different.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Everyone.
Maybe you'll say this age well, like about
Yeah.
us saying about RP law. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe.
But I mean, yeah, who knows?
I'm
If
maybe.
there's one thing I'm sure of not playing this stupid RPL deck again, for sure.
No, deck sucks, bro.
The deck doesn't suck. Y'all suck.
Fuck you. Bye bye. I'm
Yeah.
going off.
That's all for this podcast.
Yeah, bye-bye.
So all the best to the boys. Bye bye.